Good morning, everybody. We are at the Treasure Box and Company for morning yoga on Saturdays at 8:30. I bring treasure yoga to you. So let me tell, did I say treasure yoga? I meant to say power yoga. I do this all the time with my words. Anyway, let me tell you about the Treasure Box and Company. This used to be my son's preschool, and I am so honored that Gary allows me to use this playground to bring outdoor yoga to you. When it is safe to go indoors, we will still teach here. We will teach inside, either in the turret or in the old dining room, a beautiful round room with gorgeous wooden floors. We don't know what will happen. We bend and go with the flow of this thing called COVID. But this time, Saturday morning, I'm always here for you. And so I invite you to join me on the mat, literally, figuratively, spiritually, physically. Bring yourself fully to the present and into the moment. I'm going to go set my shoes aside. So one of the aspects of being teaching an outdoor class is that when I'm in an outdoor class, I am truly in nature. So you can't see it, but there's little pieces of oak leaves and bark and stuff all over my mat, just for that brief moment that I was standing on it. And last week I was removing sticks underneath my mat. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm on quite a grade here. It's a little steep here, but this is the best part of the playground right now to be at, because there's a lot of Gary's wares here. So go ahead and find your easy seated pose, Sukhasana. I am sitting up on a blanket, on a bolster. It makes it a little bit easier for me sitting on this graded hill, but also when we're first opening up for the day, it's nice to sit up on something to allow your hips to gently open. If ever you're rolling down, rolling your shoulders forward and kind of hunching down, that is preventing energy from moving freely up and down your spine, up and down your energy channels. So let's sit all the way up. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and back down, stacking your shoulders on top of your hips and bringing your head back in alignment. So allowing your chin to be parallel with the ground. Initially, let's take the Namaskar hand mudra, which is just like the A-OK, index fingers together, all three of your remaining fingers out, palms up, elbows straight, shoulders back, and just start to get into your breath. Concentrate on breathing in and out of your nose. And concentrate on moving your belly in and out, generating your breath from your diaphragm. And as you get into the breath, start to develop an introspective gaze, drawing your attention toward your third eye and turning inward. The focus of this week's class is on self-healing and wellness. By taking the time on Saturday morning or any other day of the week to find stillness, to deeply breathe, and then to move in meditation. You are doing as a very significant thing towards your own self-healing and your own wellness. By taking this time, you are calming the nervous system, which is so important for immunity. You are bringing rich oxygen to the body through this deep breathing process. And by doing the asanas, you are strengthening the body. A body that moves is a body that is healthy. So, I applaud you today. I celebrate you today for taking this time. Inhale, bring your hands overhead. And then on the exhale, draw the crown of your head up to the sky as you bring your hands down. Inhale your hands out and up. And then exhale them out and down. Inhale out and up. And then exhale, bring hands to heart center. Bow your head and set your intention for this practice today. I would like to observe that the weather is surprisingly beautiful and warm. When I went to bed last night, it was chilly. I actually wore a sweater to bed because I was too cold to take it off. And I woke up this morning to this gorgeous, beautiful sunshine, still air, the hint of the crisp fall smell in the air, and of course, leaves on the ground, acorns falling. Definitely feeling like a beautiful fall day. So I am grateful to have this time outside for as long as we can make it happen. So if you're sitting on top of anything, you can go ahead and remove that. And I think because it's too hard for me to forward fold on this leaning surface, I'm going to take us into cat-cow to begin. So go ahead, and I'm going to just keep finding positions that don't feel too crooked. So I'm going to be like this. So go ahead, inhale your heart center up, drop your belly, lift up your sits bones, draw your shoulders back and down. And then on your exhale, draw the belly button up to the spine, curl your back up to the sky, drop the tailbone, drop the crown. Inhale, lifting up your heart center, lifting up your face and your cranium, dropping the belly, drawing the shoulders back and down as you lift up your hips. And then exhale, reversing all of that, dropping your tailbone, curling your back up to the sky, rounding your shoulders, drawing chin to chest. Reverse that. Go ahead and lift up your heart center, draw your shoulders back and down, lift up your sits bones. And then on your exhale, go ahead and reverse that. Let's go ahead initially and just start off in child's pose. Remember, child's pose is so important for connecting with your breath. If at any point in any practice you feel like your heart rate is too high, your breathing is too broken up and labored, you're losing your strength in the pose, you're losing your alignment in the pose, hey, Self-care is a big part of yoga. The most important thing is the breath. And when you reconnect with your breath, you are doing yoga. So never feel that it is wrong to drop down into this pose and take the time you need to reconnect. Yoga is about self-discovery. Yoga is about knowing yourself. And we manifest that knowledge through the asanas and what we can do in them. Being radically honest with ourselves throughout the process, acknowledging where we are in the present moment and honoring that. Let's go ahead and take a little twist. So place your left hand in front, thread your right arm underneath and lay across your right shoulder, still staying here in child's pose. So we're starting to encourage a bit more of a hip opener. Thursday night class focused all on the hips, and I think today we'll repeat that. The concept, I don't remember exactly how I did the routine. It changes every class. Take a nice deep breath through your nose. And then exhale, lift up, switch hands. Place your right hand in front and run your left arm underneath your right, stretching out your left shoulder, starting to open up the inside of your left hip. Take another inhale. And then fully exhale. Go ahead and place your forearms on the mat and let's move forward into Sphinx Pose. So clip your elbows back. I'm gonna move up a little bit because my toes are on the ground. Clip your elbows back as you draw your heart center up and through, strengthening all those muscles in the middle of your spine, drawing your shoulders down your back. So when I first did Sphinx Pose, I didn't understand that. And if you watch the movement of my shoulders, they were often like this, and I was clipping my elbows back. But what I wasn't doing was really encouraging strength in the back through Sphinx Pose. So we do this by lifting up the heart center and allowing the shoulders to fall back down. And when we do so, we start to prepare our back for lots of different poses where you use those muscles. And as you may have learned in your time with me, you're always using those muscles, always, in almost every pose in some way. So this connects you with them. It reminds you of where they in fact are. But it also encourages a nice opening of the front body. And it also encourages the vertebrae of your back, if they are slightly out of alignment, to slide back into their proper positioning. All righty, go ahead and exhale, let that down. Pick up your body, placing your hands underneath your shoulders. Go ahead and rise up, move back into that tabletop position. And then let's find our way to Tadasana. So yeah, I'm gonna have to keep on moving around this mat. I thought I was more stable last week. Maybe I just feel the earth more today. So in Tadasana, looking at me from the side, as you see, the shoulders are stacked over the hips. Inhale, my shoulders up and back down on my back. Hands forward, toes forward, everything facing forward. Inhale, bring our hands up to the sky. And then exhale, create length as you drop your hands. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, hands out to the side. Grow your crown as you bring your hands down. One more inhale, bring your hands out and up. And then on your exhale, start to hinge at the hips, bend your knees and fold over. Let your hands sit on the ground. Your body is laying across your legs. I'm going to move to the center of the mat because we are setting up now for our Sun Salutation sequence. We're going to start off with Sun Salutation A, and then we'll move to Sun Salutation B. And we're going to do the first couple Sun Salutations quite slowly. So inhale into a flat spine, keep your legs bent. Exhale, fold over your legs, drop your crown. Take your right foot back and drop your knee. So you can use your blocks behind you, or if you want, you can place your hands on your left knee and just allow your hips to move forward as you bring your shoulders back and down, lifting up your heart center to the sky. And then on your exhale, place your hands down, tuck your right toe, bring your left foot back to join your right, and then we're going to lower in an inchworm style. So lower your knees, pull your elbows into your ribs, lower your heart center, lower your chest. So your hips are up nice and high, and then bring it through into low cobra. Inhale up. And then exhale, going back the way you came, tuck your toes, move your hip back in space, rise up into downward facing dog. I found another stick. Hold on, you find your dog and I'll move this stick. I tried to sweep before. Okay, so rising up, knees deeply bent, pushing your hips up into the sky and away from your body, pushing the ground away with your hands, lowering your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, take your right foot forward. Drop your left knee. Place your hands on your right knee. Allow your hips to move forward evenly, left to right. So not out to the side on one side or the other. So moving straight forward in neutral fashion. Draw your shoulders back and down as you lift your heart center up to the sky. Inhale and then exhale. Place your hands on either side of your left foot. I have found another piece of nature under my mat. It's never ending. Bring your left foot to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down, and inhale your hands up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Bend your knees as you fold over your thighs. Take your left foot back. Drop your left knee. Rise up with your hands on your right knee. Inhale your heart center up as you drop your shoulders down, moving your hips forward. Exhale down. Tuck your left toes, lift up your left knee. Bring your right foot back to join the left. Drop your knees, drop your heart center, bringing your elbows into the mat. Bring it through into low cobra. Exhale, go back the way you came, tuck your toes. Moving back through child up into downward facing dog. And then take your left foot forward on your inhale. Drop your right knee. Lift up, placing your hands on your left knee. Draw your shoulders back and down as you lift your heart center up, inhaling. And then on your exhale, go ahead and place your hands on either side of the mat. Lift up your right knee and bring your right foot forward to join your left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. And then exhale, swan dive forward. Hands on either side of the feet. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, place your hands on the floor. Take your right foot back. Drop your knee. You can continue to place your hands on your knee, or you can rise up in Anjali-asana. And then exhale, take your hands down. Go ahead and lift up your right knee. Bring your left foot, left foot to join the right. Lower through inchworm. Bringing your elbows into the ribs as you bring your body through. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, moving back through child's pose into downward facing dog. Take your right foot forward, drop your left knee. Inhale your hands up or place them on your knee. Exhale, circle your hands down, framing either side of your left foot. Lift up your left knee and bring your left foot to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Drop your crown. Inhale into that flat spine. Exhale, place your hands on the floor and take your left foot back. Drop your knee. Either rise up on Anjaneyasana or place your hands on your right knee. Exhale, circle your hands down. Pick up your left knee. Bring your right foot back to join your left. Lower through inchworm. Knees, chest, chin. Draw it through. Inhale up into low cobra. Exhale down. Go ahead and move back the way you came through child's pose up to downward facing dog. And then exhale, bring your left foot forward again. Drop your knee. Rise up on Anjaneyasana or place your hands on the knee. And then exhale, circle your hands down. Pick up your right knee. Bring your right foot to join your left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Now we're going to do a third one. I'm going to take plank variations. My phone is just giving me cues. Want to make sure nobody else was coming into the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and take the variations that aren't knees on the ground. If you want to continue in this way, we'll go at the same pace though. We're not going to go fast. All right, so inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, hands to the ground, drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down, hands to the ground. Go back into plank pose. You can take inchworm or you can join me in Tadasana Dandasana. Lowering Chaturanga Dandasana, inhaling into upward facing dog or low cobra, and then exhaling back into downward facing dog. Take the right foot forward. Oh, I just realized something. Let's go ahead and hop forward. Walk up to the top of the mat. I got into a groove there. So inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. You got a little gimme there, a half sun salutation. I'm going to turn this way. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take your right foot back. You can stay lifted up in this higher lunge, or you can drop in the low lunge. That's what I meant to say. Rise your hands up into Anjaneyasana. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down. Take your left foot to join your right. Drop in plank pose, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling into upward facing dog, or you may take the modifications. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot forward. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take left foot to join right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Drop your crown. Take your left foot back. I'll kick my block out of the way. Inhale, rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, circle your hands down. Bring right foot back to join your left. Lower in Chaturanga Dandasana or take inchworm. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot forward. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take your right foot to join your left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. So now that I have lifted off of the ground, it's taking a little bit more muscle energy. I'm getting pretty warm. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Hands to the ground. Lower your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your right foot back. You can lower your knee or you can keep your knee raised in lunge. Rise up, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take left foot back to join right. Lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take your right foot forward on the inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands down, either side of the right foot. Bring left foot to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Drop your crown. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, hands to the ground. Take your left foot back. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Take your right foot back to join your left. Lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot forward and then rise up. Exhale, circle your hands down. Bring right foot to join left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment now that we've done some vigorous movement to assess how you feel. And then let's continue. Inhale our hands up to the sky. Exhale, sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Hands to the ground. So just the fingertips to the ground. Heart center lifted. Inhale, rise up into your chair pose. Let's hold this for 3 breaths. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and forward fold. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, hands down. Take your right foot back and rise up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale your hands down. Move back into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring your right foot forward. Rise up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, bring your hands forward to frame your right foot. Bring your left foot forward to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Lower into chair. Rise up. And then inhale, stand up. And then exhale, lower your hands, bringing them to heart center. We're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, sit back in your chair, fingertips to the ground. Rise your hands up. Hold that for 3 breaths. While you're holding this, remember to tuck your tailbone, pull your belly button in. Turn your pinkies towards each other as you widen your collarbones and bring your shoulder blades down your back. One more inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take your right foot backwards into Anjaneyasana. Rise up. Exhale, lower down. Take your left foot back to join your right as you move into downward facing dog. Bring your right foot forward. Rise up on your inhale into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, circle your hands down on either side of your right foot. Take your left foot to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, fold down, lower into your chair again. Fingertips on the floor and then rise them up. And then inhale, rise up into standing. And then exhale, lower your hands down and bring them to heart center. Chair poses not only strengthen the core and strengthen the legs, but they help open up your hamstrings. So you might find when you do these that your hamstrings begin to release. Inhale. Exhale, sitting back down, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, take your right foot back into that high lunge. Rise up. Inhale. Exhale, circle your hands down. Bring your right foot forward to join your, bring your left foot back to join your right as you go into downward facing dog. Sorry about that. Inhale, bring your right foot forward. Rise up into Anjaneyasana. Exhale, circle your hands down. Take your left foot to join your right. Rise up into a flat spine. Exhale, lower into your chair. Fingertips to the floor as you rise up. Bringing your hands up. Bring your pinkies together. Turning your hands towards each other. Bringing your shoulder blades back and down. One more inhale, rise up. And then exhale, circle your hands down and bring them back into prayer pose. Enjoy that. Inhale. And then on the exhale, let's open up into warrior two. So take our right foot all the way back, bend our left knee, turning our right foot parallel to the back of the mat, drawing our left knee back towards our baby toes, using this as a true opener for the hips. And just get into it. Looking out over your left hand, lifting up your heart center. Inhale, reverse that to peaceful warrior. I have this beautiful view of this oak tree above me. The leaves are changing. There's a mixture of green and brown leaves. I see some mistletoe. I see a brilliant, brilliant blue sky. How lucky are we to be outside? Inhale. And then on the exhale, go ahead and let's go into side angle, placing our forearm on top of our knee. Initially bring our right hand up and then overhead. If you want to deepen the pose, go ahead and bend that left knee even further. Draw your right shoulder back. Lift up out of your shoulder on your left side, creating maximum space. One more inhale. And then exhale, rise up into warrior two again. Take your hands behind your back. Go ahead and clasp your hands and pull them down below your tailbone. Drawing your shoulders back and down. Morning. And just allow your heart center to grow up to the sky as you draw your hands down below your tailbone. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, let's move into Humble Warrior. So to move into Humble Warrior, we're moving inside of our left thigh. Keep our hips moving in the same direction. And then you drop your crown once your shoulder is in alignment with your knee. Now, if you want, you can raise your hands up to encourage that shoulder stretch. Yogi's choice. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, return to Warrior Two arms. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down on either side of your left foot. Bring your left foot back to join your right foot. And then move back into downward facing dog. And just enjoy this long stretch in the downward dog. Drawing your hips up and back, drawing your shoulders together on your spine. Inhale, move forward into plank. Exhale, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. And then inhale into upward facing dog. Exhaling back into downward facing dog. And then exhale, either walk or hop your feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And I realized I turned on my round mat here. It happens. Exhale your hands down. So I'm going to change direction on the mat. So you can walk up to the front of the mat too if you want to on the other side. So start with your hands at heart center. And then bend your legs and take your left foot back as we open up into Warrior Two. This side should feel a little different to me. Draw your shoulders together on your back. Strengthen your core by drawing your belly button in and up. Trailing your right knee towards your baby toe to open up your hips. And then look out with a drishti gaze over your right hands. Well, you only have one hand on the right, so let's say your right hand. Me and the use of the English language. It's a weekly comedy. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reverse that into Peaceful Warrior. A nice long stretch from your hip bone all the way to your wrist. One more inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and move into side angle pose. Right forearm on the right knee. Initially raise your hand up into the sky. Lifting up out of it so that your heart center has space. Now take your left arm alongside your left ear and then drop your right knee to have a longer line from your ankle all the way to your wrist. Lift up out of your right shoulder so that you create space and draw your left shoulder back. One more inhale. And then exhale, rise up into Warrior Two. I'm straightening out my right leg because it was cramping a little bit. Let's go ahead and take our hands behind us. Draw our hands down our back as we lift up our heart center, allowing our shoulders to fall down. One more inhale. And then on your exhale, let's go ahead and take that humble warrior, drawing our right shoulder inside of our right knee. You can leave your hands like this, or you can lift them overhead into blade position. Remember to use your core by drawing your belly button in against the spine. Move your hips slightly forward. Don't allow your booty to fall back there. One more inhale. Exhale. And inhale, rise up. Take those warrior two arms. Inhale. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Moving back into downward facing dog. Take a nice, long downward facing dog. Drawing your hips back. Pushing the mat away with your hands. Drawing your shoulders away from your ears and down your back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Moving forward into plank and lowering Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling into upward facing dog. Moving back into downward facing dog. Bend your legs and either walk or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to prayer. My goodness, that was tough on this hill. I'm going slow today because this hill is like, I don't know, I felt differently about this hill last week. This week, this hill's not as much my friend. So let's go ahead and take some standing poses. Let's become one with the earth. Maybe I'll do better in standing. So first of all, let's just take Tadasana. Reconnect with our breath. Take our hands to heart center. And we're going to go into triangle pose to start. I mean, not triangle, I'm sorry. Sukhasana, tree pose to start. We're actually not going to do a triangle series this week. So go ahead, turn your right knee out and dragging your foot along the ground. First, your toes are on the ground. And you have this option to just wrap your foot around your ankle with your heel touching your shin above the ankle. That's one option. You can lift your toes off the ground, continue working your knee out, lifting up out of the hips, or you can bring it up to the center. I have to adjust my foot because of the hill. You can bring it up to the center of the calf, wrapping it around the calf muscle. Again, continuing to lift up out of the hips by rising up your crown and your heart center. Or you can bring it all the way up to the top if you have cooperative clothing and a stable surface, as I don't, but I'll do my best. Okay, cooperative clothing in place. Fourth option here. Again, lifting up, grounding your foot into the earth like you're growing your roots downward as you're lifting up, as if the trunk of the tree is growing out of the ground. So when you lift up, it naturally draws your belly button in. It naturally draws your diaphragm underneath your ribs. In that strength, rise up your hands, rise up your tree limbs. Continue to draw your shoulder blades together as you lift up and out of your hips. When you do that, it helps your body to just find its own alignment naturally. And then you're relying on the strength of your leg and that upward energy to find your position. Let's take one more inhale. Exhale, lower your hands down and then gently lower your foot down. Everything with control. You find out what you can do in life when you show that kind of control on the mat. Let's go to the other side. Set your roots with your right foot. Turn your right. So get up on your toes on your left side. Turn your left knee out. Dragging your toes backwards towards your right ankle. Initially toes on the mat, Your heel is above your ankle, resting against your shin. Already start to lift up out of this, lift up out of your hips. The next variation is pointing your toes towards the earth, but not touching the earth. Your foot is fully against your leg, wrapped around your ankle. Again, lifting out of the hips, drawing your left knee out to the side. You can wrap them around your calf muscle, your left foot around your right calf muscle, or with the benefit of a stable surface and a cooperative pair of pants, you can take it all the way up to the top. Again, lifting out of the hips, rising the heart center up, drawing the crown up to the sky, and then inhale your hands up, growing your branches to match your growing trunk. Lifting up, lifting, lifting, lifting. Here comes Arya. Inhaling, exhaling. One more inhale. Exhale, draw your hands down and then gently release your left foot. Ha! Ask yourself, how do I feel? Do I feel that I'm contributing to my own wellness? Hi, Arya, sweetie girl. Hi. Isn't she lovely? I just love Arya. I love that she comes to visit. All right, so I have a new challenge for you today. Place your hands on your hips. You can use a chair for balance if you want, but go ahead, lift up your right leg. Initially, let's just start with the knee. As you are holding your knee with your right hand, go ahead and lift up as high as you can, just like you did in triangle. Point your toes. Sometimes that helps. Drawing your belly button in as you're lifting up out of your hips, drawing your shoulders back and down, strengthening that core in this standing pose. And then if it's available to you, go ahead and draw your right knee out to the side. Again, lifting up and out so that you're not sinking into your left hip. And then go ahead and bring it to the center on your inhale. Exhale, release it down. Switching sides to the easier side because now you know what to expect. Set your root with your right foot, lift up out of your hips, rise your heart center up. Pick up your left knee and hold it with your left hand. Again, practice that lifting, always lifting. Try not to sink into your right hip, which if you are lifting out of your hips and rising your heart center and drawing your shoulders down should not happen. Then go ahead on your inhale and draw your left leg out. Feel the strength of this pose, balancing on one leg. Balancing poses are phenomenal for concentration and for meditation. One more inhale, exhale, draw your knee to center, let your left foot down, and go ahead and move your legs a little bit. All right, I was up really late playing my flute last night. I submitted a recording for the virtual concert band. And I'm so busy, I haven't had time to do the recording, and it was due today, so I was up until 1:30 in the morning submitting my recordings. Inhale our hands up. And then on the exhale, go ahead, point your right toe forward. Practice that lifting technique. And then if it's available to you, go ahead and rise up your right foot as high as you can, using all the strength of your thighs. You can flex it or point it, the choice is yours. Flexing it might actually be easier. Focus on a straight leg, rise it as high as you can. Very nice. Inhale, exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, bend your leg and place it down. I have to massage my quadricep. That actually made it cramp up a little bit. Crazy, isn't that? Because I'm holding myself on this hill. Inhale, rise your hands up again. Exhale. And then on the inhale, set your right foot and lift your left leg up the same way, straight out in front of you. Lifting up out of the hips, drawing your heart center up, drawing your shoulders down. One more inhale, and then exhale, gently lower that down. Bring your hands down. Inhale them into heart center. Assess how you feel. These are some poses that raise the heart rate. They're not easy. Okay, we're going to try one more of those kind of balancing poses, but I'm on this cricket surface, so I'm going to do my best. Start with our hands on our hips initially. Inhale, rise our heart up. And then exhale, return all to neutral. Draw your shoulders back and down. Take your right fingers, lift up your right leg, and grab your right toes. So I've got my middle finger and my index finger wrapped around my big toe. So just hold this for a moment, lifting out of your hips. And then on your inhale, move your right leg forward. Try to draw your right shoulder backwards while you're doing that. Continue lifting out of your hips. And then if you're able to, let's take it out to the side. And then inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, bring it to the body, and then lower it down. I saw you did it. That's awesome. Take a nice inhale. And then fully exhale. Go ahead and anchor yourself on the right side, keeping your right hand on your right hip. Go ahead and grab your left toes with your left index and middle fingers, or just one of those two fingers. I lose my toes if I don't hold them really well. Sometimes I even do this by holding my whole foot. So go ahead and rise up. Lift out of your hips, focus on that. And then on your exhale, go ahead, bring your foot forward. Draw your left shoulder back. See, I'm losing my toes. I got to recenter. And then if you can, open out to the left side. See, I'm losing my toes, so I got to grab my foot. Oops, but now I'm losing my balance. You keep on working it. And then go ahead on the inhale, bring it forward. On the exhale, bring your foot down with control. Wiggle the hips. Woo-hoo-hoo. So I'm not going to torture you with any more standing balancing poses because I know your heart rate is probably nice and high. So let's move to the floor. Inhale our hands up. I'm going to turn to the side. And really, honestly, we don't have to find any great way to get down. Just go ahead and find your way to a seated position. And find your way to staff pose. Remember, staff, it's just like we're in Tadasana. We're bringing our shoulders back and over our hips, moving into our back body plane, moving our head back in alignment with our shoulders and our hips. And just sit there for a moment in that pose. Inhale your hands overhead. And then if you want to, on the exhale, go ahead and take a forward fold. As you do your forward fold, remember to lift up your heart center. Try not to overextend any part of your spine. So if you need to, bend your legs. It's totally okay. Drawing the heart center up and forward. My body's not really opening up that fast today. I'm not sure why. Probably because I'm still tired. So I'm taking some modifications myself. What's more important to me is that you are healthy and that you feel strong. I never want to hear my students after yoga telling me that they were hurt. Maybe a little sore because they're using muscles they haven't been used to using, but I don't want people injured. Go ahead and rise up. And then let's go ahead and find our way laying down because we're going to do some bridge poses this morning. So go ahead, move your hips up towards your legs or towards your ankles rather. And then go ahead and lay down on your mat. So initially just get into this laying down. It feels really good. I'm going to take out my ponytail so that my neck doesn't feel weird. Okay, so with your hands next to you on the mat, palms facing down, all I want you to do right now is focus on inhaling. And then when you exhale, I want you to hollow out the belly and tilt your tailbone up to the sky. As you do that, draw your knees together and forward. Exhale, go ahead and release. Inhale, draw your tailbone up, bring your knees forward, hollow out the belly, bringing your belly button into the spine. Your back hasn't left the mat yet. Go ahead and release. Allow your tailbone, your pelvis bowl to roll down. So think of your hip bones as like a bowl that goes back and forth, okay? So when we inhale, we're turning the bowl up. And when we exhale, we're turning the bowl down. But it's not enough to just move your bowl. You also have to engage your belly button. You also have to move your knees forward. So on your inhale again, move your knees forward and then turn your pelvis bowl up. So lifting up your tailbone as you hollow out your belly, drawing your belly button into the spine. And then exhale, release all of that down. Inhale, turn the tailbone up, draw the knees forward, and pull the belly button into the spine. So you might notice one more thing as we're doing this. When you draw your hips forward, it starts to activate the hamstrings. So just take notice of that. It's not a huge engagement, but you probably feel them acting, becoming active. And then exhale, go ahead and release all that. So on your next move, I want you to slightly lift your hips off the floor. So inhaling, tucking the tailbone, drawing your knees forward, and then just slightly lift your hips off the floor, drawing the belly button into the spine. Now notice what's activated. You should feel now more engagement of your hamstrings, and you should feel that your gluteus muscles are starting to work, okay? You might even feel the muscles on the outside of your thighs engaging, and you definitely feel your quadriceps engaged, right? And then exhale, lower all that down. Let's do that again. Inhale, draw your knees forward, pull your tailbone, tuck your tailbone and tilt your bowl up, your pelvis bowl up. Drawing your belly button into the spine. And maybe this time you can lift a little bit more. And as you lift, always draw your knees forward. Okay? And then exhale, lower all of that back down. So next time, go for a little bit more movement. So inhale, drawing your knees forward, tilting the tailbone up, lifting up your pelvis bowl, hollowing your belly out, and then lift up your hips as you move your knees forward. Go as high as you want to. So you'll feel a quadriceps stretch on top if you're doing this correctly. So right now, I'm a lot higher than I started out, but I'm still pretty low to the mat. I've only got about, what, 2 inches between my bottom and the mat. But you can see I'm engaging. My next move, I'm going to actually bring them all even with each other. So go ahead and lie back down, release your hips. And then on your next inhale, I want you to lift even higher. Inhaling up. And as you inhale up, draw your knees forward and lift up your hips using your hamstrings, using your gluteus muscles on your bum to lift you up as you draw your knees forward. Continue lifting, and if you want to, you can even walk your shoulders underneath and clasp your hands and continue that upward motion. Keep your legs together as much as you can so your legs are parallel to each other, drawing your knees forward. A lot of muscle energy going on here. One more inhale, and then exhale, go ahead and release all of that back down. Now we're going to do one more of those fully engaged bridge poses before we go on to the next thing. So allow your heart rate to come back down. Very good. Okay, so keeping your feet parallel to each other, keeping your legs parallel to each other. Place your hand on the mat, inhaling. Fully exhale. And then on your inhale, tilt your tail up, hollow out the belly, lift up your hips, engaging your hamstrings under your thighs, engaging your muscles on your buttocks, your gluteus muscles. Continue lifting up, hollowing the belly, drawing your knees forward. Hold it as long as you can. Keep your legs parallel to each other instead of spreading out. One more inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and lower down. Go ahead and draw your knees into your chest. That was a lot of work on your back, but oh, your back is going to feel so good all day because of it. Whenever I do that lower back work like that, my back just feels fabulous. Very nice. Let's do a little bit of ab work, okay? So go ahead and lay down like you're in Shavasana, but don't really relax, you know. Toes pointed towards the ceiling, okay? And then, oh, whoa, I heard something fall. Okay, so just like we did when we were standing, go ahead and lift up your knee and grab your pinky toes or grab the outside of your foot, whatever works for you, okay? And then on the inhale, go ahead and lift your leg up to the sky. You know, it's like you're stomping the sky with your heel. You can have it bent if you want to. Whatever works for you. You want your shoulder to be drawn towards the mat. So if I dropped my knee, I could draw my shoulder back even more. But I like it straight, so I'm going to go with that. And because I have this toe wanting to release thing, you know. Okay, so then inhale and just allow that stretch to take place. And then on your exhale, go ahead and draw it to the left. Keep your right hip tacked down to the mat. Oh, I'm losing my foot again. As you draw your left foot down, okay? You may not get very close to the mat, and that's okay. This is about hip opening and stretching the leg. It is not about reaching the mat, okay? Now on your inhale, go ahead and raise that leg up. Bend it on your exhale and place it on the mat, laying it flat. Let's switch sides. Go ahead and either hold your toes or your leg or your foot, I'm sorry, with your right hand. I'm grabbing the outside of my right foot because it's holding on to the toes thing. My fingers just keep sliding off. Inhale, rise your leg up to the sky. So stomping the sky or the ceiling with your heel. You can bend your leg if you need to. Keep your left foot active and engaged and pressed into the mat. So keep your whole left leg pressed into the mat. And then on your inhale, go ahead and drop your right leg to the right side. Again, you're not going to touch the mat. I'm not. Just go as far as you can. Keeping your left hip tacked on the mat. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bend your leg. Place that one back on the mat. Ha! That's really good. So now let's do a little bit of ab work of lifting our legs. So go ahead and lift your left leg up as strong and straight as you can make it, keeping your right foot tacked into the mat. Just lift it up as high as you can go. And then exhale, engaging your core muscles, lower it down. This time, don't allow it to go all the way to the mat. So it hovers above the mat, and then inhale it back up. And then exhale it back down, allow it to hover over the mat. Inhale, rise the foot. And then exhale, lower it all the way down. Let's switch sides. Pressing your left leg into the mat, rise your right leg strong and straight. Inhaling up. And then exhale, lowering it down, allowing it to hover over the mat. Inhale, rising your leg up. Exhale, lowering it down, allowing it to hover over the mat. And then one more inhale up. And then exhale it all the way down. Ah, doesn't that feel good? So you don't realize it, but even just lifting one leg at a time, you are strengthening your abs. But now you've prepared yourself to lift both up. If they need to be bent, it's totally okay. So inhale, draw your belly button into the mat to protect your lower spine. And as you do that, inhale your legs up. Exhale, lower them down with control, hover over the mat. Inhale, rise them up. Exhale, lower them down with control, hovering over the mat. Inhale, rise them up one more time. And then exhale, lower them down. Ooh, doesn't that feel great? Okay, go ahead and bend your legs, feet on the floor. Let's go ahead and get up on our elbows initially, right? And then go ahead and rise up on our hands. We're setting up for seated pigeon. We're not going to do the laying down regular pigeon today. So take your left ankle, cross it over your right leg. So initially, just sit here with your hands on the floor and rise your heart center up. So when you want to increase the stretch on the outside of your left hip, I would advise that you start to walk your hands towards your hips and at the same time lift up your heart center. You don't even have to have big movements to have big change. I hardly moved my hands and I could feel all of that on the outside of my left hip. And then over time, as that hip releases, you can move your hands closer. Focus on a straight spine. Focus on lifting your heart center. And let's go ahead and do that again, if you're able to, if you have the space to do it. And the other option you have is you can bring your right heel closer to your legs, or to your hips rather. And so by just moving your hands towards your hips, sitting as close as you can to your heel in the front, you eventually get a really nice stretch. Go ahead and flex your foot too and draw your toes back towards your knee. This is my open side, so I'm getting a nice, delicious stretch. And then go ahead and release out of that. Let's switch sides. So go ahead and move your feet out a little bit. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Drawing your toes back towards your knee. Initially just getting used to that, lifting up the heart center. This is my side of the body that is more tight, so it doesn't do as well. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to start inching my hands towards my hips, inching my left heel back towards my left hip. And you just keep on moving in a way that works for you. Move a little bit closer. And then let's go ahead and release out of that. Place our right foot down to join our left and go ahead and lay down and let's take our Shavasana. So in Shavasana, you might go ahead and lift up your hips, wiggle them out a little bit so that you can rest firmly on your sacrum. You can keep your feet the way they are with your soles of your feet planted on the ground. You can put the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall out in butterfly or Baddha Konasana. This is a very restorative pose right here, as a matter of fact. Or you can go ahead and straighten out your legs and allow your legs to fully relax. Take the time now to scan your body. Starting to focus on returning our breath to normal, returning our heart rate to normal. Start to allow for very deep relaxation. Draw your attention towards your eyes and turn inward. Breathe slowly in and out. And take note of any parts of your body or your face that might be holding tension, and fully release it. Imagine that all of the energy of your muscles is just melting down to the mat and away. Feel yourself heavily supported by the mat below, but weightless on top. Imagine that you're being drawn down to the earth, held down in this secure place. It's like a magnet drawing you to the center of the earth. Anchoring, anchoring. Lay here for about 5 minutes. Take all the time you need. When you rise out of this position, you'll roll to one side or the other, and then gently rise to a seated position. Thank you for taking this time to concentrate on your own wellness and self-healing. Shavasana is the most important pose of your practice. Always make time for Shavasana to fully calm the nervous system, to fully integrate all the benefits of the work of your practice, and to fully restore your body. The light in me joins the light in you. The yogi in me joins the yogi in you. Thank you for coming. I will see you next Saturday. Namaste.